Lookout Credit Union.
Dear road rivals, you may have four wheels and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. Later, Toyota.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the East Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 5 and District 6 activities in Idaho.
Just think about this. The Highland Ram cheerleaders won their 14th 5A title in the past 15 seasons. And then they went on to win the national competition in California.
Hosted by Sean Kane, the East Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. Or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Welcome on a Friday night. It's IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union and Mountain View Event Center. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valley-wide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, your local Toyota dealers, and, of course, the Idaho Transportation Department, who is also your sponsor for the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game. Tonight we come to you live from the home field of Pocatello High School, only their second year in this field. This is Lookout Field from Lookout Credit Union. This is where the Highland Rams from just across the city come in town to take on Pocatello. This is a game of undefeateds right now, 3-0 and 2-0. We'll get to the reason why Pokey is only 2-0 here in just a second. Hi, everyone. My name is Lance Taylor. I'm joined tonight by Sean Kane as we bring this game to you here on IdahoSports.com. Shane, we've got a 3-0 Highland team that is up now, number 2 in the rankings in the 5A division in the state of Idaho. You and I have talked about that. We think that still might be a bit low.
I definitely do. But
I do as well. I've had an opportunity to call a game of theirs this year in the Rocky Mountain Rumble against Skyline High School. We'll get to that a little later, too. But we have a Pocatello Thunder team. 2-0 as they start the season. They got the big win over Mountain Crest High School. Mountain Crest, just to give you an idea, Mountain Crest out of Cache Valley down in Utah. If you don't know where Cache Valley is, that's Utah State University. They're down in a little community of Hiram. Actually, my first coaching job and teaching gig was ever at Mountain Crest High School. Mountain Crest High School, they're a 5A school in the state of Utah, and they graduated almost double the amount of kids that Pokey graduates. They're a big school down there. Anyway, they end up getting the win over Mountain Crest 16-9. They also beat Twin Falls 20-7. However, there was a game in between there against Ridgeview that was canceled for one of the oddest reasons, because of the hours that a bus driver was able to put on the bus.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd turn of events. There was a big traffic backup in Twin Falls, and the bus got down here to Lookout, and then they said there wasn't enough hours, and lots of things happened for that. But anyways, I think, Pocatello's ready to be on their home field, considering Highland has played here already, and Pocatello has it.
That's right. yeah, Pocatello's first first home game of the season. Of course, again, as you mentioned, Sean, Highland already played a home game, but that was here. Now they've got their turf in at Iron Horse Stadium, and it is a gorgeous stadium. I went down there the other day to check it out. In fact, I went down right before they laid the turf, but I love what they've done, as they've remodeled that entire stadium. No longer is Holt Arena the stadium for all three of the Pocatello schools, as they each have their own now. Well, Coach Dave Spillett, he's going to try to do what he can against this massive offense and defensive line from the Highland Rams.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Spillett he's got a lot of weapons, right? He's got Echo Hawk at running back, Julian Bowie, the Boise State basketball commit, receiver. The Thunder are going to really have to maximize their offensive weapons against a really good Highland Ram defense tonight.
Well, and one of the things that Pokey's going to have to do, right now Pokey's averaging 18 points a game on the season. Okay, they're giving up 8 points a game on the season. Well, that's good. You'll get the difference. 18 points is not going to get it done tonight against this Highland team. I think that's fair to say. If they ended up winning a game by only scoring 18 points, that would be the shock of the year for you and me watching these games. So they're definitely going to have to put up points on the board greater than 18 if they want an opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, I would agree, and that's one thing Highland's done, right? They've put up points this year, so I think we could be in line for a shootout. Last year I kind of thought that was what was going to happen, and ended up being Highland winning, 14-7 in a very competitive game. But tonight we might be looking at a shootout.
Well, I think so too. And Highland, we already know Highland can put points up on the board. They move down the field quickly. They do a lot of no huddle sets, and they get that defense kind of back on their heels. And once they get it back on their heels, I don't know if you've ever watched like a Frisbee football game where it's catch and go is what it is, catch and go. And they look almost like a catch and go team where you catch it and boom, that next play is starting up and you're heading downfield.
Well, I'll tell you, last week it was catch and go. 4 offensive plays, 4 touchdowns for Highland versus Century. Now Century is a team that's in a real rebuilding and trying to get better, but let me tell you, 7, they went 4 plays, 4 touchdowns. No other plays, and then later on the game. But so they know how to score. Drew Hymas at quarterback. I've been told he's like another coach out there. So he knows how to read the defense. He's telling guys what to do. He knows how to take that ball from the shotgun position and either hand it off or throw it or run it himself.
Well, and they trust him to make audibles, and that's a rare thing in high school football when you're trusted to make audibles. That's a good thing. Well, speaking of the Highland Rams, let's take a look at them. 3-0 on the year. So they played Skyline 2 weeks in a row. There's a little catch to that. First one was Skyline, Utah. Knocked them off in the Rocky Mountain Rumble 52-7, and honestly, they could have put up 80 points on them. There's no question about it. Next week, they play Skyline, but it's right here. Lookout Field, because the turf wasn't in at Iron Horse yet. Pick up the 31-20 victory there. Now, Skyline, you're returning state champions for 4A division. That's a pretty good showing, 31-20, because they are drastically outsized by Highland. Highland was so much bigger, and then of course knocked off Century, as we talked about, 58-3. Right now, Highland's averaging 47 points a game, beating teams by an average of 37 points a game, as they're only giving up an average of 10. You talked about Drew Hymas. Now, they don't throw the ball as much as a lot of other teams do. For example, through 3 games, he's just 19 for 29, 367 yards. That's 122 yards per game. However, look at the efficiency. 5 TDs to 1 interception on that. Very, very good with the ball. He's not an ego guy that has to get in his 30 throws a game. No. He does what he's told to do.
He does it very well, and he's got good weapons. Ridge Barrera, one of the fastest guys on the field tonight. If you don't account for him in the secondary, he's going to run straight past you. You got Cy Reno, the tight end. He's a big guy. He's a big target. Jackson Riddle in the backfield, running back, also makes catches. But, what I like about Drew Hymas is he reads that defense, and he can either hand it off, throw it, or run it, and he's making those on the fly. So it's hard to cover him.
It's tough to get in the backfield on him because he goes through his reads really quick. So if the first one's not there, he'll go to that check down receiver, which oftentimes out of the backfield is Riddle. Riddle averaging 88 yards per game on the field. Now, that's not because he can't do a bunch more, but he's followed closely by Hymas, who's their second leading rusher on the team. And then, of course, Beckles does a great job. Ridge Barrella, you mentioned him, also a good basketball player for this group. Barrella, 55 yards per game. He's got 3 TDs on the season. Riddle at 43 yards per game with 2 TDs as well, most of those out of the backfield. But for all-purpose yards, Riddle with 131 yards per game. Great player, and I think he's going to be someone that Pocatello is going to have to reckon with tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what Highland's done well, in the 2 games I've seen this year against Skyline and Century is they disguise it real well in the backfield. They also bring in Kai Callan, mostly plays defensive back, but they'll bring him in the backfield, and they'll have Riddle and Kai Callan, and they might not hand it off to either of them, and Drew Hymas can run it. So Highland gives you a lot of looks, and you've got to make sure you've got all the players covered, or they break out for big plays, which they have.
Well, I think the key to that, too, along those lines, is if you are the defensive coordinator for Pocatello, what you're saying is you have to stay home in your positions.
Yeah.
You have to stay home, because if you get sucked over on somebody and we get half our defense on that side of the field, Hymas is going to run it around the weak side, and he's just going to kill us all night long. So I think you have to stay home defensively. If not, Hymas might have a career rushing night on you.
Yeah, I mean, he's so quick, too, and he's quick with those decisions. So like you said, if they don't have someone almost like a spy watching Hymas, you could be in for a tough night trying to figure something out to get him stopped.
Well, and I think on the other side of the ball, something that Highland's going to have to pay attention to is they're flat out going to have to pay attention to the big number 1 that it all begins and ends with the Boise State-bound commit.
Yeah, Julian Bowie didn't play football last year. Senior year, maybe the boys talked him into it, come play, but he is all athleticism, probably 6'6", 6'7", and if it's a jump ball, I don't know if anyone can defend him.
And that's the thing. He's hard for people to stay with him. He is very quick down the field. Another player, it's a good basketball player, came out this year too, Isaac Davis with Hillcrest. So We'll see. We're getting the Star Spangled Banner. We're going to take a break here on IdahoSports.com. We'll be back with quarter number 1 after this.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Well, we're just about to get underway here. We're going to get the coin toss. We're going to get the coin toss shortly as we get ready. What a beautiful night in southeast Idaho, Sean. It just doesn't get better than this in a fall.
Yeah, right when the sun sets, it's directly behind us. It's pretty nice out here. You'll have the mountains in the sunset, maybe a little haze from a fire or something too, but it's great. And this place is full. Lookout Field is full to capacity tonight as this 66th meeting of the Black and Blue Bowl. So currently Highland is 51-14 on this rivalry, and 12 straight wins for Highland right now.
Well, I'm enjoying this conference. So I spent the last couple of weeks down in Texas, and I was just down south of Dallas. Couple of the days, 110 degrees with about 80% humidity.
Ugh.
I'd walk outside. Now, I don't have curly hair. I have straight hair, but I swear it was even straighter after being outside for 5 minutes.
That's when you walk out and need a shower.
And I was all wet within 5 minutes anyway. You know, what was weird, though, is you dry off after getting out of the shower. You hang your towel up, but I have it hung up so it's pretty exposed. And the next morning, it's still wet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, actually, I should say that night. I got to the point where I'm showering at night when I come in before I go to bed. I'm showering in the morning before I leave. It was nice and hot. And I'll tell you, I just let you know how nice it is to be up here in this dry drier weather and to be able to see green. I don't think I saw anything green that wasn't paint.
Probably
while I
not
was down
mountains
there.
either, though, right?
Oh, no. In fact, that's the hardest thing when you go to some of the states is that, here, your directions. You just know if you get lost, okay, here's my east mountains, here's my west mountains. I'm down there, and it's middle of the day, so the sun's in the middle of the sky, and I'm like, I have no clue if I'm north, south, east, or west here. I have to pull my phone out to see.
Yeah, you can't beat falls in East Idaho. Best time of the year. Best, it gets nice and warm during the day, nice and cool to sleep at night.
Well, sure had a fun time down there, though. In fact, I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but do you remember the show Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so the South Fork Ranch, where Dallas was, went out there and went through a tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll tell you about it. It was a lot of fun.
It wasn't just a dream?
No, it wasn't just a dream. It was actually, and it was a lot of fun. One of the things I found out is kind of cool. So I figured the studio owned it. It wasn't owned. It's actually owned by a family. So all the exterior scenes took place there, and they had to be done in June, July, and August, the most miserable months in Dallas, because the family who owned the ranch had children in school, and those were the only months they were out of school.
Huh.
And it was a working quarter horse and cattle ranch.
Wow.
At the time they used it, and so what they did is they went in and they'd made a studio set, a sound stage that matched the interior of the home, and that's where they would film the majority of the interior stuff during the wintertime out in California. But there were still some of the interior shots that were shot there, But anyway, it was kind of neat for one of these. I was born in 1970, so, I know all about those shows that came out in the late 70s and 80s. The ball is up, kicked off. This might be returnable. Actually, it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to draw a penalty immediately right off the bat. It's going to bring the ball out to the 35-yard line where Highland's going to start. 1st and 10, and, you might look at that and think, that's not that big a deal. You don't want to give an extra 10 yards to Highland to start the ball game.
Yeah, this year for Highland, if they get around the 40-yard line, they're almost in the red zone.
Yeah. They are almost like Rigby was at times last year. Actually, I think it comes out to 35. It should. Now, we have the officials. I don't know what they're meeting about here. It was as obvious as how muscular my right arm is. Oh, wait, not mine. Yours,
okay,
Sean. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, the kick out, it just went out of bounds. It's usually just the flag. And
yeah, there might be something else that they're talking about. And I never even saw a flag come out. I didn't see one physically come out. Oh, yeah, there it is, and they just picked it up. Well, we'll see what it is. Either way, Highland's going to start off 1st and 10. It looks like they're going to put it on the 20. Interesting. They're over-explaining it to the Highland coaches right now. I'm sure the Pokey coaches are saying, hey, we'll let them take it on the 20. We don't care. Right now, we already got the banter back and forth of "We Can't Hear You" by Highland and Pocatello.
Kickoff out of bounds. Pokey.
Beautiful field here at Lookout Stadium. Of course, Lookout Credit Union, the sponsor of this stadium. They've put a lot of money into this. Great credit union. We ask you, go support these businesses that support Idaho high school activities. If you haven't been to Lookout Credit Union, go into one of their branches. Open up an account. What a great thing to do. Beautiful scoreboard, replay scoreboard down up on the north end. The first school to have one here in Southeast Idaho was Madison at their new stadium with replay scoreboards. From the shotgun we go, and of course it's Hymas. Spent a lot of time on him in the pregame show. Carry goes up the middle. Looks like that was Riddle. Couldn't quite tell.
Riddle on the carry.
Yeah, it was Riddle on the carry. What I do like, though, is these jerseys, you can actually read them. I did some of the Rocky Mountain Rumble games, and so you had Desert Hills came up from St. George. They had white jerseys with light gold lettering on them and numbers. You could not read the numbers. And even after the game, I was talking to a couple of the officials after, and they said it was even hard for us to read them down on the field. 2nd and 6. Hymas goes back, has his man across the middle. It's Callan. He picks up the first down, gets out across the 35-yard line to the 37, where it's going to be 1st and 10, Highland.
First down, Highland.
Yeah, and you've got to like getting Kai Callan involved early. He's not heavily used in the offense, but they always have him kind of, you got to just keep an eye on him if you're Pocatello.
Well, Callan did a great job. He came up and he stutter stepped off the defender who dropped another 10 yards after. He just turned around, was able to get it. They go to him on the outside as well. There's blocking there. He's going to pick up a little bit, and I think we're going to get a holding on this play too. I think the holding is going to be on Barella.
By Rodriguez. Flag on the play.
Highland likes to run a lot of rub routes, and if you go back and watch, they do a lot of it, and sometimes those can bring up a holding call.
That's right. As it is, it's a 3-yard gain. We'll see what it is after the call. Highland's moving back. It is a hold. It's a 10-yard spot foul. So that's going to come back. It's going to bring it back to the 32-yard line.
First and 10 Highland from the 32.
It's actually going to bring up a 1st and 17 for Highland. We'll call it long 17, short 16, or long 16, short 17.
Just right on the edge there.
Yeah. You know, I did like the defensive pursuit on that play. You did just have the single blocker to the outside. The pursuit got there quick, and it would have only been a 3-yard gain even without the hold. Hymas keeps it in the backfield. He's pursued, steps off a defender, finally brought down. It's on the 35-yard line exactly. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 13 as he's able to pick up 4 yards on the play.
And I think that is a microcosm there. Will Pocatello be able to keep that pressure? If they can keep pressure on Drew Hymas like that, it's going to be very helpful as this game goes on.
Well, and I think what you oftentimes see when you have a size mismatch like this is the first half, the smaller defenders are able to keep with that. When it usually starts coming to fruition about halfway through that 3rd quarter, and that weight that they've been pushing that whole time starts to just wear them down. From the shotgun again, he's got trips left. Was quads, man in motion, that's Callan, he goes back. Coming out of the backfield with it, it's number 5, Riddle. Riddle now around the edge. He can come close to the 1st down, doesn't get it, gets out to the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short about 3 yards, maybe 4 yards.
Chased out of bounds by Carson Christensen.
And Riddle just beat people to the edge.
Yeah, and just a nice little delay by Hymas to kind of create some separation, and then once Riddle gets it, it's hard to catch him.
Well, Riddle went left, and he was on a foot race to the edge with the outside right defensive end, and they just weren't going to catch him. Ended up one of the corners coming up and making the tackle. Single right, single left, eligible tight end. Man in motion. It's Hymas to the right. Good blocking in the backfield. They come out again to the sideline. This time it's to number 3, Barella. We talked about Barella also being a very good basketball player. It's a 1st down, and they find themselves in Pocatello territory.
And he's a fun basketball player to watch because he's not the tallest guy out there.
No.
But
in fact, my son and I were talking about him on the way down because they've played against each other for years. They're the same age, and you know, he was talking to me about how good of a basketball player Barella is. And this will be an interesting basketball year coming up for Highland. They lost their stadium in a fire, and they're going to have to play in some different venues throughout the season.
I think they'll be playing at Pocatello.
Shotgun again, and once again it's Riddle. Riddle's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, the last I heard is they were going to maybe play at the pit, but I can't say that for 100%.
Yeah, I had heard that too. At the 2 gyms there, I had heard maybe a couple games, depending on scheduling and stuff. I heard maybe a couple games in Reed Gym.
Yeah.
I had heard as well, which, you know, makes sense too. Of course, Reed Gym now the full-time basketball stadium for Idaho State. It was years ago, and then, of course, became Holt Arena, mini dome for a lot of those years, and now it's back to Reed Gym. The Bengals returned quite a bit this year. They've got a good outlook for basketball. Nice pass up the middle, and right now, Kai Callan is the part of the riddle that cannot be figured out by Pocatello.
Callan with the reception. Tyshawn Harrell with the tackle.
And Callan's down on the field. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a stinger. He got down inside the 30-yard line. Looks like it's going to be down. Well, it looks like on the 30 as well. They'll give it to him. But, you know, he's taking that middle route. And what's happening is your receivers on both sides are drawing both a corner and a safety. And it's leaving Callan open right in the middle of the field.
And, you know, kind of like in the pregame, Highland just has so many weapons, and they're doing a good job of kind of mixing it up a little bit here and getting Kai Callan involved.
They are. Well, we're down on the field there. We're going to take a quick break as well and get a word from Lookout Credit Union.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Welcome back. That was Callan that was down on the field. He's kind of limping just a little bit, but going off on his own power makes you think he'll be back in the ball game for the Highland Rams. You know, so when I was down in Texas this last week, we went down to a little town called Cleburne. Shouldn't call it a little town. It's about 30,000 people. I got some pictures. One of the coolest high school football stadiums I've ever seen. It was built back in the 1930s. This rock wall used to be used for rodeo and a bunch of other things as well. But it was one of the neatest high school football stadiums. I love going and looking at high school football stadiums when I'm in other states.
Well, there's a lot of them in Texas.
There sure is. Drawing the shotgun again. There's Hymas. Pushes it to Riddle to the outside. Riddle breaks through a few defenders. Finally tripped up. Ankle tackle. The ankle tackle actually came in from big number. Couldn't quite tell. It looked like it. Yeah, it was Carson Christensen, but it looked like maybe that it was his own man, number 77, Barlow, that he accidentally tripped over and ended up rolling down on that. Otherwise, Riddle might have been in the end zone. And again, we talked about the no-huddle play. They go to Riddle over on the sideline, this time out of the backfield. Ball will be placed on the right hash mark down inside the 15-yard line to the 14, first and 10.
I tell you, if IdahoSports.com gave him an award for best cutbacks, Jackson Riddle might win it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we can give out any award that we want,
That's
Sean.
true, that's true.
We got a couple Highland players up here with us tonight. We got a sunglasses award going. We got a backwards hat award going. Huh? We got it down here, guys. We got your back. Once again here from Lookout Phil, IdahoSports.com. Lance Taylor, Sean Kane, bringing you all the sports action from just the second year in existence of this stadium. It's always been a field, but wasn't a stadium. It was just a practice field. It's Hymas out to the side. This is a designed run. He has blockers, scoots up through the middle, closes quickly. Now down just inside the 10-yard line.
Hymas with the keeper.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6. Even though they're down deep, they can still pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown.
And this is a pretty long drive for Highland. A lot of their drives this year haven't been very substantial as far as time-wise.
Yeah. Well, one thing you know, even though Pokey's outsized on this, they're going to come out and play with pride. This is a rivalry game.
Yep.
Drawing the shotgun again. This time the defense read it nicely as number 7, Beckles, Tyson Beckles, his first carry of the evening. He gets brought down quickly.
Number 7, Tyson Beckles.
No gain on the play.
Tackled by number 7, Jackson Romero. It's third down.
7 tackling 7. You know, Romero stepped up, just 5'8", 160 pounds, got that ankle grabbed. Beckles went nowhere. 3rd and long, 6, short 7. It's Hymason's shotgun. He's got a man open. He's in the corner, cuts back. Now goes across the middle. Ball almost picked off. I'll tell you what, it was number 9, Rodriguez. It hit him right in the belly. He had no idea the ball was right there. And Rodriguez, that was a great opportunity for a pick. And the way where he got that, he might have been able to get out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the pass is intended to Cy Reno, the big tight end. I probably just couldn't see over him. You know, Cy Reno, 6'2".
So we're going to get the field goal attempt. Of course, Highland famous for their kickers. Ian Hershey went to Idaho State for a year, now down at Arizona State, kicking for the Sun Devils. Kick is up and good. So 3-0. Here's our score. We're going to take a quick break here on IdahoSports.com. 3-0, that's your score. 5:06 remaining in quarter number 1. 3-0, that's your score up on the board. As Highland ready to kick off with that lead. Again, this is a rivalry game. Kicking off, number 21, Zarek Giannis. There's also a DB on this team, one of their seniors.
And May back to receive for Pocatello.
Right in the middle of Echo Hawk and May. We see who brings it out, but instead it goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. That's different than college, which comes out to the 25-yard line on that. One of the, of course, even if you catch it in the end zone, now you can't bring it out anymore. They're trying to get rid of those high-speed collisions head on, you know, avoid those types of injuries. Well, now we're going to see the Thunder for the first time tonight on offense. It's going to be Contreras out there guiding his team. The senior Drew Contreras, 5'10", 170 pounds. He's already got Julian Bowie to his right in a triple set.
And he was hurt last year and didn't get a play, so eager to get it done tonight.
Cut comes to the outside. That was a nice left cut on the outside by Echo Hawk. I don't know if you saw that. He stepped right. That was Barry Sanders-ish, where there's a lot of things that speed encompasses. There's fast speed and there's quick speed. Barry Sanders could get chased down in the open field, but he was quick. He had quick speed. That's what Echo Hawk had. He stepped that defender to the inside like a basketball play, came to the outside, was able to pick up 8 yards on the play. From the shotgun is Contreras. Once again, trips to the right. Echo Hawk in the backfield. He goes to it. He pops to the outside again, now to the inside. He's going to get some forward progression. I think he's going to pick up he's going to be close to that first down marker. It looks like he might be maybe 4 or 5 inches shy.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, we'll have to see.
You know, Sean, I think you and I have talked about this before. I think one of the greatest things that high school sports did, and at the college and pro level, was get rid of the coaches being able to call for the measurement.
Yeah.
That became a delay strategy for a lot of teams out there. Now it's eyeballed by the officials. If they think it's close enough, they'll call for the chains, but coaches aren't doing it anymore. There were times in the last 2 minutes you'd get 10 of those.
Yeah, it's really picked up the pace. I like it.
Bowie to the left now. We're going to get an offsides. That's going to be a first down. Offside comes in out on number 7, Beckles, who's playing defense as well.
That's another first down. Pocatello.
Moves the ball out to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Thunder. Beautiful logo in the middle of the field. Of course, those of you who don't know, they were the Pocatello Indians up until a couple years ago. They changed to the Thunder, which is now a bison, essentially. Not thunder as in the thunder and lightning, but thunder as in the bison, which is what they call it when they stampede, essentially. Contreras coming back. Has his man, and it's picked off! They were looking for Julian Bowie, and the ball ends up being picked off by the kicker, number 21, Giannis.
First and 10, Highland from the 29.
Contreras threw it into triple coverage. It became a jump ball. And the thing is, even though Bowie is that good basketball player, you know, when you've got a 25% chance as opposed to a 50-50 with somebody else, chances aren't in your favor. And quickly, Highland comes on the field. They do it in no huddle set. It's going to be Hymas in the backfield. He's got a spread. Twins right, trips left. He comes to the outside. That's a good pass caught by number 4, Durham. First time we've called his name tonight. He's knocked out of bounds violently by number 9, Rodriguez. Devin Rodriguez. It looked like it might have even been a little bit of a late hit. Good enough for a 7-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 3. Beautiful night tonight in Gate City, here in Pocatello. Of course, we got one of the minor league baseball fields right down here behind us. Pass out to the side, bounces off the ground as they were trying to get it to Barella. Barella tried to sell that, but you could see the little pellets come up off the turf. And with the sun down behind the mountains now, by rule, these lights should already be on. And it looks like they just as I was saying that, they did turn them on.
Yeah, they're on timers, and the ADs can control them with their phone now.
Yeah. Just as I said that, I saw him clicking on because the sun just, that last sliver just went down behind the mountains. Roll to the play, 3rd and 3. Man in motion, Hymas drops back. He's got a single receiver. Hymas comes to the outside. He's going to pick up the first down easily. Great blocking on the outside, specifically that time by number 61, Dallas Call, 5'9", 220-pound offensive lineman. He came out and gave a fantastic block on the play. Listen to this offensive line from a size perspective. 277, 270, 300, 320, 270, 315. Some of those players coming off the bench at that size. That is a massive offensive line for high school. Highland gets away with a false start. Doesn't get called. Hymas goes downfield, has his man open, and it's almost picked off. As number 24, Garrett Keller, gets a hand up there, almost able to reel it in.
Number 24, Garrett Keller.
The first deep shot of that type that we've seen tonight from Hymas, and that answers any questions anybody has of whether he's got the arm to put it downfield. Had that have been good, it would have been to Barella in stride.
So, kind of interesting, right? Pocatello throws interception. Highland just almost kind of lucky they didn't get it there.
Yeah.
So, starting to get a little more of that shootout feel coming.
I like that play call, though, because what you've been doing a lot of out routes, and you've been doing some middle. And, I like that call to go long. Single right, twins left, one in the backfield. Eligible tight end on the play. They go across the middle, and this time he overthrows his big tight end. Of course, that is big number 87, Cyreno, 6'2", 210. Another one of those seniors.
Incomplete.
And he overthrew him by a long way. In fact, he's the tight end. Reno's the one that he overthrew when Pokey had the chance for the interception down here. That was the play that ended up resulting in a field goal attempt that was made.
And Pocatello was bringing the pressure too, though. Let's not forget that they're getting closer and closer to Hymas. He had time, but that pressure is causing that throw to go earlier than he wanted.
3rd and 10. Trips left again. Hymas goes. Riddle will block for him in the backfield. Has his receiver, however, ball is tipped away that time by number 5, Stuckey. Callan, the intended receiver. They've gone to Callan more times already tonight than they did the entire game against Skyline. And I'm talking Utah's Skyline when I called that game in the Rocky Mountain Rumble. Hunter May back to receive.
Hunter May, the quarterback last year, as he filled in for the injured Contreras. So a good athlete, good receiver, and a skilled position player. So
Drew Hymas, also the punter on this team. You're seeing that a lot. We're even seeing it more in college football, where your quarterback is your punter as well. Kind of gives teams that, that little bit of a different look where that fake just might come. May has it, gets out to the 21-yard line where they'll take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, and Drew Hymas was averaging 40 yards a punt through the season. So good punter there.
Got a hurt player down on the field. Don't forget, coming up after the game will be our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department. Of course, that's a coveted award. That's the kind that people go to fist and cuffs on that. Will receive, lawsuit threats, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, last time I was here at Lookout, it was Highland versus Skyline, and we gave it to the Highland defense. So I don't know.
To the whole defense.
Yeah,
Wow.
4 fourth down stops, an interception, and a fumble recovery. So
good for you. So speaking about Skyline, of course, Kenyon Sadiq, such a great receiver for them last year up at University of Oregon this year, has already got action. He's a freshman for the Ducks, the Pac-12s, quasi-Pac-2. And
you got to be careful how you call it.
Yeah, there's some interesting things going on down there on the field. Finally getting up, getting helped off the field. It's going to be big number 77. We already called his name, Austin Barlow, 6'5", 270 pounds. You put a kid like that on a basketball team, and you just flat out tell him you're not allowed to shoot the shot unless you're wide open all by yourself under the basket, but you need to get about 30 boards every single game. 6'5", 270, a kid like that would be tough to move out of the middle.
Rebounding wins championships.
Yeah, that's right. It certainly would for them. So 1st and 10 from the 21. As we get underway, it's Contreras from the shotgun again. He's got 2 in the backfield. Echo Hawk and May. Now May goes in motion. Yeah, they're going to have single coverage with Julian Bowie. Basketball bound to Boise State. They go to Echo Hawk. He's on the right side. Makes that quick cut again. Gets bumped to the outside. Gets across the first down marker. And it's going to be a 1st and 10, or at least close to it, for the Thunder of Pocatello.
Echo Hawk with the carry. Tackled by number 0, Highland.
Yeah, and they are calling it a 1st down. 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 31-yard line. You know, so just down the road on Interstate 15 in Salt Lake, there's also another Highland High School. It's Highland of Salt Lake City. And they are also the Rams. And black is their main color as well, but they're black and yellow as opposed to black and red. But these two Highland teams have played each other before. It's been a number of years, but they have played each other before. The Highland Rams and the Highland Rams. The Ram just sounds perfect for the name Highland.
It matches up well.
Well, it goes in so many ways, you know, the Highlands, the Rams that are on them. It's going to be Contreras out of the backfield. This is a designed run, finally brought down by a slew of Rams. First one in on the tackle, number 34, Hudson John, senior linebacker, 6 foot 220. That's a good sized linebacker at a high school game. So, you know, we talk about this 5A conference down here in Southeast Idaho. It's conference. It's District 5, District 6, 5A. Highland's the only 5A that's actually in District 6. Then, of course, you got Madison, you got Rigby, you got Thunder Ridge. And, you know, Rigby out to some struggles this year. Highland right now is really kind of the belle of the ball for 5A.
I couldn't agree with you more.
They go to Julian Bowie, his first reception of the game, good enough for a 1st down. So number 1, Julian Bowie, tackled by number 1, Brennan Carlson.
Taken out of bounds by number 1, Brennan Carlson. That's enough for a Pocatello Thunder.
Yeah, we talked about Bowie, being a good basketball player. Didn't play football last year, chose to play this year as a senior. We see the same thing up north with Hillcrest, as big 6'7" Isaac Davis has played as a tight end this year for Hillcrest. Didn't play last year. He's already committed to play basketball for Brigham Young University, as Mark Pope, of course, offered him that scholarship just after their state championship last year. And don't forget, Julian Bowie in that state championship game against Hillcrest in a losing effort had 39 points, most in the first half.
Yeah, just two great basketball players playing a little football.
Going to go to Echo Hawk again out of the backfield, pursued greatly by Highland. But I'll tell you what, Echo Hawk is squirrely, and he made something out of nothing, and he's going to pick up a good solid 4 yards on this play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, should have been tackled for a loss, and Echo Hawk found a way to turn something into nothing.
First quarter comes to an end. I don't know about you, that seemed like a really long first quarter. For whatever reason, it seemed like there was a lot of action for one quarter. And the end of the first quarter, right now, ball out on the 50-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Thunder. We'll come back. 12 minutes on the clock.
I love Lookout's Campus Branch. The vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information. Accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student-athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
Welcome back as Pokey now, you know, the ball didn't even need to change spots. It was on the 50-yard line where it was a 2nd and 6, and now after the run it's going to be a 3rd and 2 as the Thunder from Pocatello High School having their best series thus far in the ball game. Contreras has got involved with his legs. They got Julian Bowie involved for the first time. They'd thrown to him before. It ended up being an interception as they turned to triple coverage. However, he gets a good one for a 1st down now. Now he's out wide left. Here to the near right side for us, number 4, Alex Wynn. Looking downfield is Contreras, boy, and he gets chased. He finally puts his shoulder. He looks like he's going to run out of bounds. Instead, he lowers the shoulder and knocks into Kai Callan, knocks Callan back about 3 or 4 yards and picks up the first down. I'll tell you what a gutsy play by the senior, Drayson Contreras. Again, was supposed to be the starting quarterback last year, got injured. And so the last year sophomore Hunter May took over as a sophomore, junior this year. Of course, we'll call May's name plenty of times. He does a lot of kickoff and punt returning as well for the Thunder. From shotgun again goes Contreras. Twins right, twins left. We're going to have single coverage with the tight end. And this one gets picked off. Second pickoff of the game, and it's going to come back all the way. We'll see Julian Bowie finally gets down there, and the second pick of the ball game for number 21, the kicker as well, Giannis. And this time Giannis hits a pick six. I'll tell you what, if this would have been Canadian football and another 10 yards on the field, Julian Bowie would have probably caught him. As it is, Giannis just got into the end zone, puts a score up on the board, moves us out 9-0, extra point pending, and he'll come on and do the extra point too. So, assuming this extra point makes it in, it'll be number 24, Giannis, 10, Pokey 0, because he will have scored the field goal.
Yeah, he's all the points right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. He will have been all of it. The field goal. He got both interceptions. Last interception was right on the sideline, one that they had attempted to pass to Julian Bowie. Bowie now down on the field. You know, Bowie does not look like an imposing figure on the basketball court because he's not overly tall. He's about 6'2", 6'3". But here in football, with a lot of his teammates down there, he's a lot taller than a lot of they are.
Highland now leads 10-0.
Goes up in, 10-0 is your score. And if you're Pokey, you know, we talk about, you know, Pokey averaging 18 points a game, giving up 8 on the season. We talked about earlier today that if they want to get this done tonight, they're going to have to certainly exceed that 18-point mark. However, one of the things you can't afford to do is give up scores to Highland defensively. It's tough enough to stop Highland as it is on offense, and they've done a good job. They've held Highland, here we're in the second quarter, have held Highland to only 3 offensive points. But all of a sudden, you give up defensive points, and you got to figure that Highland's probably going to put more up on the board offensively as well. If you're Pokey, you just can't afford to do that. We'll see how they respond now. Echo Hawk and May back deep to receive. Each time, Giannis has put it into the end zone. There has been no return.
Hunter May, Carson Christensen back to receive for the Thunder.
Well, I'm looking out over the valley here tonight. What a beautiful place. You look at the south end down by kind of like where the country club is, you know, and all that. You look here behind us with the baseball field and Hawthorne Junior High right here by us. And now we're hearing the student bodies get into it now. Once again. You know, one of the things you get in a community like this, too, is you will get a number of athletes, a number of students that live in one's boundaries but go to another school. It just happens. And so you got that aspect, too, where a lot of kids will go to opposite schools but maybe go to the same church on Sunday, you know, and have to see each other there. This one's a worm burner, goes all the way down. This one goes to Echo Hawk. He pops to the outside. He's got room now. Finally knocked out of bounds by Giannis. I'll tell you right now, Giannis doing everything, and we're going to get a penalty flag. It was behind the play, and I'm sure it's going to be an unsportsmanlike.
Christensen with a turn knocked out of bounds by 21, Zarek Eunice.
Or Eunice. I've been pronouncing his name wrong.
Yeah, Eunice, the kicker.
I think it'd be safe to say if we gave an IdahoSports.com player of the game right now, Eunice would probably be that player.
He's all the points, yeah, the interception, just he's having a game right now.
So the personal foul it was after the play. It was on Highland. It's going to be a 15-yard mark-off from where the play ended, and it's going to certainly help Pocatello. I bet you just love the student body. I love them. You see the kids that are just out here. I've heard people who really don't care for sports and stuff and think there's too much put on, you know, sports and stuff, and they say, well, the only people involved are the ones down on the fields. Well, look at these student bodies. You tell me that the only people involved are the ones down on the field.
Yeah.
You know, these student bodies, they're loving this every bit as much. This is every bit as much their game as it is the players down there. They just have a different part of the game, you know?
Yeah, and I went to Pocatello High School, and no matter what, whenever this game came around, it was so much fun. You just had a blast with all your friends.
And you should. Coming out of the backfield, Contreras. He pitches over, goes to Echo Hawk. It wasn't a great pitch. It came late. And we're going to get a horse collar tackle, so it's going to be an automatic first down as well. I think on the tackle, I think that was Zweigert. That ended up bringing him down with a horse collar. No, it wasn't. It was number 11, Colton George, the linebacker.
The penalty marker was picked up.
No, they picked it up. They said it wasn't, so they met.
Second down
As officials. That's the smart thing to do. Initially, even from our angle, it looked like a horse collar. Ball placed on the 48-yard line on the Highland side of the field. 9:55 remaining in the first half of play. Clock running. Contreras back out to bring the play to his team. And no points yet up on the board for the Thunder of Pocatello. However, they've only given up 3 points to Highland's offense, with that pick six making the game going up north a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that, keep you posted. That's a 4A game with Hillcrest and Shelley. Hillcrest really the shock of the season. They are the team that really nobody had on their radar, you know, as a top 5 team in the state of Idaho at the 4A division, and they've done very, very well so far.
Yeah, Josh Wells does a great job at Shelley. Great AD, great coach.
Really like Josh. Good guy. I've always liked Shelley. Good people, good players. You know, went through a couple down years there when they went back up to 4A from the 3A division. However, some of their earlier 3A teams would have competed very well in 4A and 5A. They just happened to be kind of going through a downtime there for a couple years. They're picking their programs up. If you don't know where Shelley is, that's just about 10 miles south of Idaho Falls. Ball goes into the end zone, as we assumed it would, with the short kick. Comes out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, as Contreras will get his team rolling. Contreras has thrown 2 picks on the night. One of them an out route, one of them a deep threat, that to Julian Bowie into triple coverage.
But, you know, I think that's what Pocatello has to do. That, you know, they've got to try to take some shots against this stout Highland defense, and that's what happens.
You have to do it. Now, there's an out route right there. Goes over to Bowie on the side. And those are the kind of pocket passes that Contreras can actually get off. They're quick, and it doesn't give time for the defense to get into the backfield, as Bowie picks up 9 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 1. But when he stays there to throw deep is when they're getting hurt. Comes out again, steps up into the pocket. This time it's a run. Beats the defenders. It looked like he might get the first down on forward progression. He does. Ball goes out to about the 31-yard line on their own side of the field. 1st and 10, Thunder.
And I don't know if you can see it too well on your screen, but I love the digital down markers they have now at night, right?
I've noticed that. This is a different era than you and I grew up in, Sean. I mean, and I grew up in a different generation than you.
Easy, Dale.
But you're kind of the middle of these two generations.
Yeah.
Me and then you, and you know, I was the old guy for your generation, and now you're the old guy for these guys' generation.
Yeah, I definitely feel old, Lance.
So I'm the dinosaur for this generation. Ball placed on a false start down to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 15 for the Thunder. They got trips right. Back in the pocket again goes Contreras. He's flushed out. He has 2 men downfield. Neither one of them's open. He has to throw it out of bounds. The defensive coverage was good. I'll tell you what, I cannot say enough about Kai Callan and what he has done defensively.
He's the one I wanted to bring up in the pregame, and you know, he's made me look good as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been everything. Everyone, you know, people talk about people. Kai Callan is everything. He lives up to everything. He's done a great job this year, all the games I've seen, and he's doing it tonight for sure.
Well, and Kai Callan, just as an FYI, just a junior. He'll be back next year for Coach Nick Sorrell. Now on a run, Pocatello goes nowhere. That was Echo Hawk. He actually loses some more yards. Now it's going to be 3rd and 18. And now for sure you're going to have to get a pass.
Yeah, and I tell you what might not show up on the screen is how fast Kai Callan is.
Yeah. Well, and how thick he is for just 5'9". Contreras steps up through the middle, shuffles it forward. He goes to Bowie. Bowie steps off some defenders. Bowie picks up a first down. And I'll tell you what, Eunice got up and talked a little smack to Bowie. He was fortunate not to pick up a flag, but I don't know why you're talking smack. The guy just got a 28-yard first down on you.
Yeah, you want to get, when you have 3rd and long, right, you want to get out, you want to get the ball back.
Yeah, I know. Now, obviously, the first half comes to an end on that play, but the point is that they just made a good play on it. Now, Eunice made a good defensive play too, but what happened there with Julian Bowie, that was a great shuffle pass forward to him, and he made the yardage. There were a lot of tacklers there. Well, we're going to go into the half. 17-0 is your score. We'll be back with first half thoughts after this.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the East Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 5 and District 6 activities in Idaho.
Just think about this. The Highland Ram cheerleaders won their 14th 5A title in the past 15 seasons. And then they went on to win the national competition in California.
Hosted by Sean Kane, the East Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. Or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have my seatbelt on.
We're Valley-wide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back. It's halftime. Lance Taylor, Sean Kane bringing you this rivalry game from Lookout Phil here. Pocatello High School last week was 2 weeks ago, was also the home field for Highland until they got their turf into their field. This is the Next Steps Idaho halftime show. You know, Sean, as we look at these two teams, there's been a couple things that have stood out to me. One is that, by and large, Pocatello's defense has been pretty good. You know, they've given up 10 points, and that's not insurmountable. The difference is those 2 picks right now have really hurt Pocatello, one of them being a pick 6. And I think if you could say anything about the first half, it's been too much Zarek Eunice and not enough Pocatello in certain areas.
Yeah, you know, just like we talked about in the pregame, we talked about that Highland defense, and that's really been the backbone. Pocatello's defense hasn't been bad. You might tune in and think, you know, the score hasn't been any, you know that their defense hasn't played well, but Pocatello Thunder's defense has played well. They've just capitalized on the turnovers. Are really what I think is the difference so far are the 2 Thunder interceptions.
Yeah. And you know, I think for the most part, the Stars have done kind of what we expected that they would do. You know, we've called Riddle's name a bunch, called Barella a bunch, called Hymas a bunch, called Contreras a bunch, called Julian a bunch. You know, and it's just right now, Highland's just a better team right now. Now, what happens when we come out in the second half, we don't know. We'll see what kind of adjustments end up being made by these two teams. But it's still a good game. It feels like it's been more competitive than 17-0.
Yeah, it's felt like a long battle for just 2 halves, right? And, you know, Pocatello likes to throw the ball deep, and they just really haven't been able to do it. So can they come back in the second half and find a way to throw it? And we've heard Echo Hawk's name a little bit, but he hasn't made any big, gigantic play as of yet. So a couple, you know, plays or a couple big plays for the Thunder could make a huge difference.
Well, these are some things right here. In order for Pokey to go deep, they've got to have Contreras in the pocket. He's got to be able to spend that time in the pocket. And the problem is the amount of time it takes to throw a deep one from the pocket. Highland's just getting into that backfield. That pocket's closing up quickly. When you're on the run, it's tough to throw deep. You know, and you know, particularly unless you can kind of stop on that outside and gun it down. And so, you know, I think from a Pocatello standpoint, I think if you look at it, what started to work for you towards the end, even though they had that good possession where they got stopped here on a 4th down, down towards the end, or closer to the end zone, they still did good strides. Well, how did they do that? They did a lot of out routes. Contreras was able to pick up some yards on the exterior as well. And I think if you're Pocatello, take advantage of that.
Yep.
I think if you stay in the pocket and you try to throw bombs all night, I know you'd like to do that, and that might be who you are, but that's not who you are against Highland.
Yeah.
Because of who Highland is.
Yeah, when Pocatello was successful, they used the whole field.
That's right.
They really spread it out. They went sideways, front ways, back ways, but they used the whole field. And in the second half, I think they're going to have to do more of that because that traditional just pocket passing right now isn't going to pay off with the Highland pass rush.
Yeah, just too quickly into the backfield in order to make a long pass. But again, those quick out routes that they did, and I think those couple to Julian Bowie late in the second quarter, I think were signs of what we might see from them in the first half. And they weren't things that Highland had a big answer for, and they're places that size doesn't make a huge difference on that. Now it becomes a speed game, and if you're Pocatello, you got plenty of guys that can play the speed game with Highland.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, maybe you just look at a couple different matchups, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, someone's going to have to make a play, I think, and Highland's really preventing anyone from making a play, any sort of big time play for the Thunder. But you know, Pocatello Thunder's offense has been able to move the ball a little bit. They've had some success, just no points on the board. And you know, if you're Pocatello, you've got to find a way to get a score here in the second half earlier, or it's just going to be too long of a road to, too long of a ladder to climb.
Well, and I think if with Coach Spillett with Pocatello, I think it's a scenario where right now at halftime, you're building off any of the good things you can do, and you can say, hey, listen, offensively, or our defensive side, but we held Highland's offense to 10 points. That's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. Neither is 17 points.
No.
It's just that 7 hurts because of the way it came, and it does require another possession. However, I think you build off that. Say, guys, we moved the ball. We just didn't capitalize at the end. Here's some of the things that we're going to do to capitalize, but I think we're going to see the Pokey kids run out on the field for this second half, and they're going to be very excited to come out and play, and of course they get the ball first to start half number 2.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you've got you've got the ball, you've got the crowd, you're on your home field, and what I'm thinking too is just it's going to be kind of maybe a ball possession game, right? Most of the drives have been long, kind of time-consuming drives, so who's going to have the most touches of the ball could really end up winning the game.
Yeah. Now, if you're Highland, you have the benefit being up 17-0 that you can actually control the game clock a bit more in the second half. Pokey has to catch up first, and then they might have that luxury after. Well, folks, thanks for joining us for the Next Steps Idaho halftime report. 17-0, that's your score. We'll be back for half number 2 after this.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
An Idaho-based credit union is leading the way in community initiatives and charitable partnerships. Recognizing a need for change, Lookout Credit Union underwent a major transformation to put its employees and their community first. Through 2 strong initiatives, Lookout Credit Union is ensuring a brighter future for its community. To find out more, visit www.lookoutcu.com.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the East Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 5 and District 6 activities in Idaho.
Just think about this. The Highland Ram cheerleaders won their 14th 5A title in the past 15 seasons. And then they went on to win the national competition in California.
Hosted by Sean Kane, the East Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. Or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Like we only
mentally, you got to go down by
10, and that, I mean, with two quarters left to play, I mean, anything's possible.
Sure enough.
Pocatello Thunder will receive
back. You're going to have May and Echo Hawk to receive. It's going to be Eunice kicking off. Eunice is, other than one time that he did a purpose worm burner, everything else he's put into the end zone. We've got no wind tonight, relatively speaking, no wind. You know, I didn't bring a coat down. I did have a long sleeve shirt, but I didn't expect it to nip off quite as much, as nippy as it is right now. But this one's going to go into the end zone as well and come out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, Pocatello.
Eunice with a touchback.
And Eunice hit, I don't know how many touchbacks last week against Century. So, yeah, just that kind of designed one is the first time I've ever seen him not kick it all the way back. So that's a great weapon. We talked about that last week. If you know you can kick it back that way, and the offense is always going to have to start on that 20. I mean, what a great advantage.
Yep. Well, we talk about former great kicker from Highland, Ian Hershey. Probably the most famous that's ever come out of there kicker-wise. Went to Idaho State for a year, and then, of course, now he's a Sun Devil down at Arizona State. Arizona State struggling a little bit. Barely beat 1AA Southern Utah, 24-21 opening week. And Echo Hawk has it, and now we're seeing what we thought we could see from Echo Hawk as this game started. You talked about we really haven't seen him break one. Now we finally saw what Echo Hawk can do. Gets out across the 40-yard line to the 41, 1st and 10.
Really nice job to use all parts of the field. Started up the middle, went left to right, came back towards us, found any empty space he could, and made a great job.
Well, the challenge that any team's going to have with Echo Hawk is if he's able to get through the initial line, he is a very tough defensive assignment, especially when you have to leave somebody to come over and pick him up. And he's just faster than most of the outside linebackers if it turns into a race to the perimeter. From the shotgun, Contreras. Going to go to Echo Hawk again. Once again, he pokes to the outside. Once again, he picks up a first down barring a penalty. No penalty called, so he certainly gets it. He's down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line on the Highland side of the field. And right now, it's been all Echo Hawk to start the second half of this ball game. Contreras with those 2 picks in the first half, but, still threw some good passes after those picks. I think one of the best things a coach can do after something like that is go back to a pass, let a kid get his confidence back, and move on.
Yeah, you got to get him the reps, and there's a lot of game left to play.
In the backfield, now it's number 6, Carson Christensen. Carries it over to the right side. Looks like he's able to pick up, about 4 yards on the play. That'll bring up
4 yards,
2nd and 6. First time we've called Christensen's name tonight, as Echo Hawk was actually off the field for that play. Took him a little while to get up after the tackle on the long run.
And this is kind of where the Thunder have gotten to and not really gotten past this kind of part of the field here. So let's see what they can do.
From the shotgun, he does have trips right. Once again, a nice cut up through the middle from Christensen. And Carson Christensen, well, I'll tell you what, that's not a name we expected to spend much time on tonight. With Echo Hawk going to the sideline for a couple plays, Christensen stepped up and done the same thing.
Yeah, Carson Christensen's, he's their kicker as well and plays some DB. He can really do it all, apparently.
Well, he almost had a pick tonight. On a long one, went up one-handed. Depending on where the middle receiver goes, we might have a jump ball into the corner to Julian Bowie. Instead, they're going to keep it on the ground. It's going to be Christensen again. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
2nd down and 2.
And you know, one thing here is Pocatello, now they go back to a huddle this time, but they've had quick snaps and they've been getting up to the line, and it's been catching Highland off a little bit. And again, speed is not an issue for Pocatello. Size is a difference at the line for Pocatello, but speed is not an issue. If it turns to a speed game, they're right there. Contreras from the shotgun again. Trips right, single left. It's Bowie on the left. We go to Christensen again. It's actually going to be a keeper by Contreras, and he's going to lose a couple yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Contreras with the keeper, tackled by 25, Cody Height.
Ty Wilkinson will head on the field, the big tight end. Well, now he's going to come off as Echo Hawk checks back on. Him and Julian Bowie come on with Contreras as Contreras brings the play. And if you're Pocatello, the absolute thing you do not want here is to be stopped on this 3rd down, because this is what happened earlier in the first half. In that second quarter, they moved it downfield, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 and you turn it over on downs. They go to Echo Hawk. He has it. He cuts through the middle. He's going to pick up the 1st down. He's down inside the 5-yard line. Looks like it's about down to the 4. Well, it's going to be 1st and goal for the Thunder from the 4.
Echo Hawk with a carry to the 4-yard line.
And I like what the Thunder have come out and done here in the second half. Just a heavy dose of running.
Well, and even, Sean, you and I talked about at halftime, shorten the game up.
Yep.
You know, shorten your plays up. You don't have to throw those bombs. That's not who you are against Highland. Highland's not that team that you can do that on defensively, at least not consistently. You came out, they've shortened it up, they haven't thrown a pass yet, but again, shorten the game up. And I'll tell you what, if they score a touchdown down here, the Highland student body is going to hear it from the Pokey student body, just like was happening in the first half from Highland to Pokey. It's Echo Hawk in the backfield. They give it to him. He cuts back to the left. He's being chased in the backfield. Brought down for a loss on the play. It's at the 6-yard line where it will be 2nd and goal, close to a horse collar tackle, but it looked clean.
Nice tackle by Colton George. Haven't called his name a ton this evening, but he's a great middle linebacker, and nice tackle by Colton George of Highland.
Several of the Pokey coaches wanted a horse collar, but from where I looked, yeah, he was high on there, but it didn't look like he got a horse collar on it, and it was a good takedown because Echo Hawk is a tough assignment. 2nd and goal, this time from the 6. Far to the left by himself is Alex Wynn. They have an eligible tight end. And this time it's going to be Contreras, and he gets in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Pocatello. Here's our score out 6-17, extra point pending. And boy, you could not have hit that more square on, Sean, than what you called. Number 24, Garrett Keller, is going to come on to kick the extra point.
Yeah, nice job. You know, I think Highland was kind of sitting back looking for that pass to finally sneak up on him, and it never did. And Pocatello was able to punch it in.
In fact, their corners weren't even jamming at the line. They were starting to get 5-6 yards back. Ooh, this might have missed to the right. No, it went in, so it ends up being a good kick by Garrett Keller. Moves our score out with 7:09 remaining, 7-17. We'll take a break. We'll hear from Lookout Credit Union and be back after this.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
17-7 as Pokey comes out and gets on the board, and the thing is think of this scenario, and obviously this isn't the scenario that played out, but think of this. Pokey had that great possession that moved him down the field, and then they just stopped, went that 4 and out down there on the 20-yard line, and turned it over on downs. Figure if they got that, and Highland doesn't get the pick 6, that's a 14-10 game.
Yeah.
Where we'd be, Pocatello right now. So this isn't a thing where Highland is coming to run Pocatello. Like we said during halftime, Sean, it's felt a lot closer than 17-0.
Yeah, just like you said, barring that interception, it's been pretty close as far as scoring. So nice job by the Thunder to go down and get some points on the board.
Keller to kick off. It's going to be a short one. This first one went out of bounds in the game. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it's going to be his fellow kicker, the other side of the ball. Of course, that's Eunice, who returns it out. And now Highland will take over for their first possession of half number 2. One of the things we mentioned at halftime was that Highland does have the benefit of being up in this game, being able to work the clock if possible. But I think if you're Highland, come out and continue to do the things that work for you. Don't stop doing the things that work for you in order to say, let's milk the clock a little bit. Come out and play your game.
Yeah, I would agree. But I can imagine maybe you might see a little more Jackson Riddle in the second half.
Well, and right off the bat, there he is. Riddle crosses the 35-yard line, or gets out to the 35. We'll bring up a second and long 3, short 4.
And I think Riddle is averaging about 6 yards per carry through the season, so, he's automatic probably at least 5 yards unless you account for him, so you might see a lot of Jackson Riddle here.
Well, and he's averaged 88 yards per game, 5 TDs. But he's a guy, they spread it around in the backfield a bit, and he's a guy that could easily put up 120-plus yards a game. And here he is again, goes to the outside, finally knocked out of bounds. I don't know if you noticed it, but it looked to me like Riddle had a little bit of a limp in his run as he was running to that outside as Keller finally knocks him out of bounds. That's Riddle's biggest run of the evening so far. Ball on the 39-yard line. And no huddle goes Highland. It's Hymas from the shotgun, trips right, one in the backfield. It's Riddle again, and Riddle crosses the 35-yard line down inside. Looks like it'll go to about the 34, where it will be 2nd and 5 Highland.
The carry, tackled by 21, Parker Smith.
And Highland running the ball here, but still taking the ball down the field pretty quickly.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, if Parker Smith hadn't stepped up and got that tackle, it would have been about another 10, 15 yards before somebody else was going to have the chance. Because the trips took the safety.
Yeah, it was wide open there.
Yeah. It took 2 corners and 2 safeties with him. From the shotgun again they go. Looks at Riddle, comes to the outside instead. And now a nice cutback to pick up something as Kai Callan, there was nothing available after catching that out route, and he ends up making something out of it, gets down to the 30-yard line, but it'll be a 3rd and 1. I'll tell you what, Kai Callan has done a fantastic job tonight. Every time we've called his name, it's been for something good.
Yeah, he must have watched the dance performance at halftime and said, you know what, I can do it too, because he just did a little shake and bake out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, between him and Echo Hawk, we've seen some fantastic runs tonight. And once again, it's Riddle, and he breaks away from the defenders, has a blocker there. He'll go into the end zone untouched. Pokey awfully lucky to get away without a personal foul penalty after that play. Late hit, but Riddle, what a fantastic catch and run. That's a 30-yard TD reception as Riddle puts it in, moves our score out 23-7, extra point pending. And that was quick.
Yeah, there was about, 3 Thunder defenders there, and he was able, Jackson Riddle, was to cut back and make them all miss. It was a nice move.
It's Eunice on now for the extra point again. I don't know if I've seen a team this year or at least two teams that have played each other with better lateral movement from their runners than these two teams have. Extra point up and good for Eunice. Moves us out 24-7, 5:22 remaining in quarter number 1. We're going to go ahead and stay right here. Pardon me, quarter number 3. It's quarter number 1 of the second half. Is that justification enough?
Yeah, don't shortchange anyone.
Quarter number 3. And Highland just said, anything you can do, we can do better.
Yeah, I mean, a quick response by Highland. You know, after the Thunder, like, the offense finally got rolling. We got good chunks of yards running the ball. And our defense had really been stopping Highland, and that was probably one of the best drives Highland put together. So
yeah, that was actually the worst of the defensive possessions that Pokey's had tonight.
Yeah.
You know, even though Highland had scored a touchdown before, Pokey made them really work it downfield. That time, not so much. I'll tell you what, though, if you're Pocatello now, you come into this possession, you learned a few things about yourself on that last possession. And those things were good. And I think you use that now. And I think maybe you mix in that run game, you keep it going as much as you can, mix it in maybe with a couple little out routes. I think the bad thing that could potentially happen to Pokey is if they, you know, again, start trying to throw from the pocket deep, you know, that hurt them in the first half.
Yeah, you know, or, you know, you run the ball, and maybe look for that shot when you have an opportunity for the Thunder.
Eunice again. This one's going to go into the end zone again. Come out to the 20-yard line. Bowie catches it. Pardon me, that's Echo Hawk, but unable to run it out. Like to give a shout-out to my son, Carter, who turns 18 years old tomorrow. I'm officially kicking him out of the house at 12 midnight. He'll be paying his own bills.
Get a job.
Doing his own thing. No, he'll be 18. He's a senior this year. And he's been, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to see him move on through, you know, graduating from high school. He's a good basketball player, so we've still got basketball season coming up. But he's kind of been my sports bud all his years growing up. He's kind of been my tag-along right-hand man through state tournaments and playoffs for football and everything else. So happy birthday. Fake to Echo Hawk, and there goes that short pass to Julian. And Julian's out in front of the defense. We'll see if he can finally get brought down by Callan. Callan does finally bring him down. The ground caused the fumble, so no fumble there. And Julian Bowie, we saw exactly what Julian Bowie can do. We talked about it in the pregame, but who chased him down? Callan. Those two might be the two fastest players in the open field in this game tonight.
Yeah, and I think Callan came from the whole other side of the field. And I know that was a Thunder plan. When Callan wasn't on Julian's side, they wanted to go to him. That was a nice slant, but wow, what speed, touchdown saving speed.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, again, what did we see? We didn't see a back in the pocket kind of pass. It was that quick. It was that slot receiver come through as they lined Julian up as a slot receiver that time. Comes across, so you don't have to worry about the line collapsing in that pocket. From the shotgun again, it's Contreras. One in the backfield, it's Echo Hawk. Echo Hawk might have got away with a false start. And it's going to be Contreras. He gets into the end zone. And so far, early on here in quarter number 3 in the second half, we've got 3 touchdowns put up on the board. 2 by Pocatello, 1 by Highland, 4:28 remaining, 13:24 extra point pending.
And kind of the game I expected from the start. I kind of felt like we'd have more of this kind of shootout at the start, and you know, now it's coming in the second half.
Yeah, you know, the first quarter felt far more like a filling out process than it did what you expected for these two teams. And teams that know each other this well, you just don't expect a filling out process. You expect that first round of the state playoffs against a team you haven't played or don't know much about. Extra point up and good.
And that's what head coach Nick Sorrell said, you know, Highland's head coach kind of said coming into this is it was going to be a playoff atmosphere, and that's kind of what you got.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I was kind of shocked to the slow start. It's like there really shouldn't be a feeling out process between these two teams. And there was, as it is. Now Pokey's going to kick off to Highland as the extra point was good by Garrett Keller. And Garrett Keller will come out to kick off as well. His kicks have all been a little bit shorter than what we've seen from Eunice on kickoffs. However, they haven't really been able to be returned for much.
No, when you have Ridge Barrera back there, a lot of teams have just kicked wherever he's not. Yeah, they've went to the other side, and if it's short, they're okay with him not getting a chance to run it.
Yep. Well, yeah, put it in the hands of the next line up, and hope that it's the guy that rarely carries the ball and might fumble it on a good hit.
And I wouldn't even be surprised too if you see Pocatello maybe try an onside kick at some point too. Just kind of the way they've been kicking the ball. Maybe not yet, but might be something they sneak in there.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. And I think if you put these two teams on paper, if you say if Highland plays their very best, Pokey plays their very best, Highland's very best is probably a bit better than Pokey's very best. I think that's a fair statement. People might be upset at that, but I think it's fair. Which means, and here's the onside kick, and they got it! Which means Pocatello is going to be the team that has to take some chances to win. And look what they do. Onside kick. And they recover it.
I just someone make a note. I was right for once.
Well, my whole point on that is if each team plays their best, Highland's best is probably better than Pokey's best. Which means that now, if you got a team that has to take a chance somewhere, it's going to have to be Pocatello. Now, what do? And it was recovered as well by the kicker, Garrett Keller. And it looked, he was full speed when he caught that. He just kind of drug it with his foot for that onside kick. Went 12 yards. Wow.
And now we've really got a game on our hands.
Contreras goes to Echo Hawk on the pitch. He cuts to the outside. Cuts to the outside again. Finally brought out of bounds. No, he's inbounds. Nope, they're going to call him out. And it looked like there might have been a face mask on that. And I think the Pocatello coaches, they are furious. They got right in the official's face on that because from where I stood, it was obviously that it was a face mask. And the thing is, the official, to his credit, he had some players in front of him. But if you have the players in front of him, how can you see him step out of bounds if you didn't see the face mask as well?
Yeah.
Those players would be blocking both. That was really interesting because it was obvious from where we stood. Either way, didn't get called, no replay in high school football. And they hand it off again to number 6, Bates. I was calling Christensen, by the way, before. Christensen, not Bates. Christensen calling him before as he came in and did such an excellent job for relieving Echo Hawk.
And that's, if anything, for the Thunder going on the season, you've got Christensen that can come in and get some carries for you too against a very good Highland defense. So
done a great job. Now you got Bowie out far wide. That's going to be tough to double cover. So if they go to him, I think it'll be on the move to the left. Instead, they're going to throw it across the middle. Catch is complete. That's Ty Wilkinson, 6'5".
That's another Pocatello Thunder.
6'5", 220. He is a senior, is Ty Wilkinson. And now we're seeing what works for them. They went away from the things that weren't working, and they're doing the things that allow them to take advantage of speed and not have to worry about the disadvantage they have in size. Contreras been dead on here in the second half as well with his arm. He's going to keep it out of the backfield. Has some blocking, has to go back to the right. He'll pick up positive yards, but he fumbles it, and Highland picks it up. It's going to be Highland Ram football. Wow. He was carrying that ball way out to his side. It didn't even look like it was hit by a defender. It looked like he just kind of lost it as he tried to turn.
Yeah, he kind of made a cut back towards us, towards the camera, and it was way out, not against him, and it just went way out of his grasp.
Yeah, and it didn't appear to me that a defender hit it. It just appeared that he just kind of lost his grip on it.
So really, the difference in this game now is the Thunder's turnovers.
Yeah, 3 of them, 2 interceptions and a fumble. And now a good defensive stop as Riddle tries to get up the middle. Unable to do so, gets back to the 5-yard line. No gain on the play, brings up a 2nd and 10. Might have even lost just a little bit on it. Highland playing with a whole new skip in their step here. Pokey playing with a whole new skip in their step here in the second half. And Highland, they came out and they did a little shock it on their first possession too. Now they get the fumble recovery. It's inside the 5-yard line. They've got a full 95 yards to go. 2nd and 10. They go to Riddle again. Once again, they meet him early. He does pick up some positive yards on the play. Looks like he got about 3. Should bring up a 3rd and 7. Actually, more like a 3rd and 8. The Pokey fans are going to get loud because you get a 3rd down stop here. That's a guaranteed punt.
Yeah, you're going to get a punt and the ball right back and kind of wipe the slate clean of that fumble for the Thunder.
Sure enough. From the shotgun they go again. This time it's Hymas. He's going to pick up some yards. He's out near the 1st down marker. And it looks like he gets it with forward progression. Gets all the way out to about the 17, 18-yard line. Looks like they will officially, depends on which side judge they go with. One standing on the 17, one on the 18. And it looks like they'll put it on the 18, 1st and 10 Highland. And Highland got themselves out of a little jam.
Yeah, I've been kind of waiting to see when Drew Hymas was going to kind of take a little more of the ball himself, and it might be time for him now.
From the backfield, it's Riddle. Riddle gets out across the 20-yard line to the 21. It's actually Beckles that ends up on the carry there.
Pickup of about 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
The Rams not so quick now. They're using the time here a little while. They're kind of a hurry-up offense, and they're kind of slowing it down a little bit, using the time in their advantage.
Well, it's been a fast quarter. We're already down inside 35 seconds in quarter number 3. Out to the outside goes Hymas. He's going to pitch it to the right side. This is to Riddle. Riddle breaks a couple tackles and is finally brought down. Tell you what, there were 3 tacklers that got in on Riddle, and he drove them for another 5 yards, and 2 of them are down on the field still. We might have an unconscious player. No, I think we're going to be okay. Now he's getting up on his own. It looked for a moment that Pocatello's number 6, Carson Christensen, might have been unconscious for just a minute. He was laying on top of a player. Now he gets up. He's just holding his hand. So he's fine. I don't want to alarm any fans or anything like that, but it was just kind of weird because Riddle was right in the middle of all those tacklers, and it was the tacklers that got hurt. Riddle just popped right up. It's going to be a 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 34-yard line on their own side of the field is Highland. 15 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Lance Taylor, Sean Kane bringing you this game. A shocker right now in the college ranks as we're going to run down to the end of the quarter. Right now, Air Force in the 4th quarter, 39 to Utah State's 14.
At the end of 3, it's Highland 24, Pocatello.
So at the end of quarter number 3, 24-14 is your score. Highland on top. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
I love Lookout's campus branch. The vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information. Accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
Well, we got a good one here from Lookout Field. 24-14 your score, 10-point ball game. Highland on the move. After recovering the fumble down inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be Riddle. Riddle picks up 3 yards on the play, brings up a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7.
Again, big shout out to Lookout Credit Union. What a beautiful field down here, Lookout Field. Nice logo down there. If you haven't had a chance to go into one of their branches, do so. Look out, Credit Union. From the shotgun again, it's Hymas. He's going to drop back in the pocket. No pursuit yet. Once again, he gets it out to Kai Callan. And Kai Callan actually gave up a couple yards on that play. He wasn't knocked back. It looks like they might have given him some forward progression, but he jumped back on his own.
Kai Callan with the reception.
And it looks like, yeah, see, you got the side judge over here was going to give it to him clear on the 42-yard line. It looks like they're going to give it to him maybe on the 40. We'll see. No, they're going to. Oh, we have a block in the back, so we got a penalty that's going to come from. Okay, so what the side judge was doing, he was standing where the penalty took place. So they're going to walk it back off. That's a 10-yard spot foul. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 13. Long 12, short 13. Yeah, we haven't had a penalty-plagued game.
No.
I would say it's been very average to maybe even a little below average with penalties tonight.
Yeah, you know, and just for how long that first half felt, there wasn't a lot of penalties.
No, there was not. From the shotgun, it's Hymas. He gets it to Riddle. Riddle cuts up the middle. Is able to pick up about 4 yards on the play. Gets back to the 35-yard line.
Jackson with the carry, tackled by Kevin Rodriguez.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. And right now, if you're Pocatello, you're feeling pretty good. But I think one of the things you're looking for right here is one of those out routes that they've been doing to Riddle out of the backfield. You know, maybe not as much of a run here, but an out route. And, you know, we haven't called Barella's name in the second half. We haven't called him a lot today anyway, not as much as I expected. Here he is on the left side, and he might run it as a slant route, particularly if Callan cuts to the outside. It's going to be Hymas, and he's going to get brought down short of the first down marker. However, he made more out of something than I thought he was going to do. Ends up getting down, picks up about 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th and 2, maybe even a 4th and 1. It's a long one.
4th down.
Big play here.
Yeah, this would be huge for Highland if they could pick up the first down right now, particularly with how good Pokey's doing on offense. And for Pokey, if you could get the stop here, they might just be trying to call him off. We'll see exactly what they're going to do here. Now he's going to, you got to remember, he's also their punter. And he drops back and he punts it. It's going to go down into the end zone. Boy, dang near stayed out of the end zone. And if that would have happened, that ball would have been on about the 1 yard line. As it is, it'll come out to the 20 where the Thunder will take over, 1st and 10.
I think a good decision by Highland to punt it there. It was a 1 yard, 4th and 1, but back Pokey up and let your defense, take over right here.
From the shotgun will be Contreras, as he has all night long. We go off to Echo Hawk. And now we're going to get a reverse with a pass, and it comes down. The pass is complete, and still on his feet. Here's number 4, Wynn. Wynn finally brought down inside the 40-yard line on the Highland side of the field.
Wynn with the reception.
Now, with the exception of the fumble on the previous possession, everything Pokey has done in the second half has worked offensively.
Yeah, they've just had a bunch of different looks and kind of a little trickery right there that worked out. And
yeah.
They've been able to move the ball.
It was a double handoff. Handed off to Echo Hawk, who handed off to Bowie. Bowie throws the pass downfield. Wynn with the great reception. He had to come back for it. It was underthrown just a little bit, but then he was able to make a few moves to get down into Pocatello territory. We're going to have somebody down there on the field. We're waiting for some trainers to come out. We're going to take a quick break while they're out there attending to a player. We'll get some more story on that in just a moment. We'll be back.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
So on the field was Kai Callan. That's the second time that they've had to attend him on the field today. This time he walked off on his own again, but a lot more gingerly than he did on the first one. From the shotgun, it's Contreras. Contreras goes to Echo Hawk. Echo Hawk comes back to the left, finally brought down after a 2-yard gain. And bring up a 2nd and 8.
Second Echo Hawk on the carry. Tackled by Justice Harding and Hudson John. 2nd and 9, Pocatello Thunder.
So the ball now on the, pardon me, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just kind of liked how the Thunder have went about their offensive ways in this fourth quarter as well, too, and really in the second half. So
done very well. Ball on the 38-yard line on the Highland side of the field. It's 2nd down and 8. Echo Hawk again. No, they pull it back from him. They go to the sideline. We'll see if it was caught. That's a catch. What a fantastic catch by number 10, Hunter May, last year's quarterback. Started last year as just a sophomore, and he catches it leaning on the side and dragging it out of bounds. Result of the play is a 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line, and once again, the Thunder of Pocatello on the move, down 24-8. Pardon me, 24-14. 8 minutes on the clock, even. And what could have been if they wouldn't have had that fumble.
Yeah, they'd be looking for the lead here.
The outside, Contreras pitches it to Echo Hawk. Echo Hawk steps out of bounds. Picks up some positive yards on the play. We'll see exactly where it was. We were blocked by the players down here. Looks like he's down near about the 26-yard line. Looks like that's where they're going to put it. It's on the 26, so it's going to be 2nd and 7. The Thunder, and again, not the Thunder sound. The Bison, the Buffalo. Great part of the country to have that as your mascot. And it's a cool mascot. They did a good job in drawing it, you know, and everything. I like it.
Nice way to incorporate the, you know, the navy blue and red of Pocatello High School in it.
Yep, they sure do. And it does, like on the scruff of it, it has kind of like some rolling clouds almost, you know, so it does look like that part of the Thunder a little bit too. Contreras back. He comes out to the side. Once again, hits his receiver, Alex Wynn. Alex Wynn's done a great job. The 6'1", 170-pound senior. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Another 1st down.
And what you see is they put Julian Bowie out on one side, and it draws a little more attention, and it's going to give the guy on the other side of the field probably a little more opportunity.
Right. Well, it draws a safety over. Yeah. You know, you're always going to have that. So ball on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. They can pick up another 1st down before a touchdown as well. That would be on the 4-yard line. Contreras from the shotgun again. Goes over to Christensen. Christensen stopped early. Might even have a slight loss on the play. It looks like he's going to lose about a yard.
tackle by 25.
That's one of the few things that hasn't worked for them in the second half, as they've been so spot on. 7:33, clock remains to run here in quarter number 4 from Lookout Field. Beautiful Lookout Field here in Pocatello, Idaho, home of the Pocatello Thunder. Next week I'll be right back with you as Meridian, who played for the state championship game last year against Rigby. They come into town. They face Highland up at Iron Horse Stadium. Just on the other side of Pocatello here. It's Contreras again. Barks out the call, stays in the pocket. Hits his receiver. Now cutting to the outside again and down inside the 10-yard line. It's Hunter May. It's going to bring up a very, very, very important third down. Now, if you get the third down, or if you don't get the third down here, a field goal isn't a bad option. No, because a field goal does bring you in to a true touchdown, an extra point. So in that scenario, it would not be a horrible decision. Now, if you're Pocatello, you of course want to pick up the first down with not punching in.
The Thunder need some points, really. I think it's a must-have point drive here.
Yeah, they prefer the touchdown, but if they have to go with a field goal, I could see him doing that as well. Fakes the handoff to Echohawk, being pursued in the backfield. Tries to get it out to his receiver, does the smart thing, knocking it out of bounds. And right there, number 19, Simon Gifford, defensive lineman, 6'5", 220, was awfully lucky for Highland not to get a late hit.
Yeah, it was
the quarterback
right as he was throwing, close.
Yeah, very close.
Looks like they're going to kick it.
So it looks like they are going to go for that three. Back on the field is Garrett Keller. He's been fantastic tonight from what we've seen from him. This will be his first field goal attempt, but he's done great on extra points. And his extra points could have cleared from about 45 yards. Snap looks good. Kick is up. Kick is good, and that brings our score 17-24. We're within a touchdown for Pocatello. 6:09 remaining on the clock as Pocatello puts one through. 24-17, and again for Pocatello, it's what could have been.
Yeah,
because that would have tied the game if they could have scored on the other end.
Yeah, and they were definitely in scoring position on the other end. The Thunder were, and just coming up short there, but still able, to get the ball back and drive it down. It was a punt that almost couldn't have been stopped on the one by Highland, went into the end zone, and a nice drive by the Thunder to get points on the board. So,
well, your number 1 ranked 4A team in the state is Bishop Kelly. They're followed by your reigning state championship Skyline. Now, Skyline, out of all the top 5 in 4A, Skyline has the only loss on the record, and that came to Highland, 31-20. And so that didn't hurt them in the polls because it looked like, hey, they played pretty good against them. Well, you can make the argument that Pokey's playing even better against them. Pokey is your number 3 ranked team in the media polls.
And they got to watch out for the onside. I highly doubt they go for it twice, but.
Well, in this scenario, your defense has had a couple good stops here. I think right now you're just going to have to trust them and say we'll go with it. Garrett Keller, 6 foot, 160-pound senior, just kicked the field goal. He'll kick off. Has yet to put one back in the end zone. And Barella is shallow, but they come here to the right side, and it goes back. And I'll tell you what, almost losing the ball on that was number 2, Cannon Coons, because he was going back. The ball bounced back to him.
It bounced into his body, kind of like a soccer ball.
Yeah.
On a soccer ball, it's funky and bounces into you.
And for Highland, that could have been nothing but disastrous if that would have happened. But really, and knowing that Keller can't put it back into the end zone with the 1 foot, with the kick, they've done a great job tonight keeping it away from Barella. We just have not called Barella's name a whole lot tonight.
Yeah, and I think Keller can definitely put it back. I think this is just the strategy the Thunder are going with tonight, and it's worked pretty well.
Run out to the right side by Hymas. He's going to pick up a first down. It's going to be an 11-yard run, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Good to see Kai Cowan back on the field as well as the last time he came off. He came off very gingerly, and he has had a huge role in this game tonight for the Rams of Highland.
Yeah, what I like Drew Hymas, you think he's going to get tackled, and he finds a way to roll, spin, dive, and gets another 5 yards almost every time he runs the ball.
For sure. You got trips left, single right, one in the backfield. It's Riddle. From the shotgun is Hymas. Pitches it out to Riddle. Riddle comes out to the left side, cuts into the middle, and gets hit early and hard. I'll tell you what, that might be the hit of the ball game, as that was Pocatello's number 6, Carson Christensen. Came up and laid that hit. It was actually Barella on the run.
Devin Rodriguez and Carson Christensen.
Yeah, Devin Rodriguez of Pocatello was in on that. And he's their big-time linebacker.
Brings up a 2nd and 8. That was a hard hit. I think that's the hardest hit we've seen tonight. From the shotgun again, 2nd and 8. Man in motion. Kai Cowan. This time it's going to be a handoff instead. It's going to be Barella again with the carry. No, it's not Barella. This is actually Riddle with the carry.
It's 3rd down.
It's going to be 3rd down along 7, short 8. Man coming off the field who was down for just a moment was big number 75. Gage Johnson, the senior offensive line. He's got a little bit of size on him, 6'3", 320. That's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to take a survey of these offensive linemen's parents and find out what the food bill is, just for their kid alone.
I don't think you want to know.
Yeah, I have 7 kids, but they weren't all big eaters all at the same time, because when they were at home together, you got the young ones, you got the older ones. But that was a false start on the left tackle, getting away with it. Out to the outside, they go to Riddle. And Riddle gets knocked out of bounds right now. This Pocatello defense doing everything they need to do to try to win a ball game.
Yeah, and it's you kind of get the feeling like Highland's trying not to lose, not to win.
Yeah.
Offensively, they're not. I'm not saying you have to go to the end zone, but I feel like they're being a little conservative. 4th down.
They're going to try to draw him off because they got 4th and 4. If not, we'll see him pop back. Hymas does. He'll pop back. He's got to be careful. He could run this. He pooch punts it. It goes downfield. And they're going to try to stop this short of the end zone. It does. It's going to go all the way down to the 1-yard line. And right now, what a great kick by Hymas. And if you're Highland and you could pick up a safety here, this changes this game drastically with 3:23 in it. And if you're Pokey, I think right here you give it to Echo Hawk and you just try to give yourself some breathing room coming out of that end zone.
Yeah, get out of your end zone area any way you can. I would look at Echo Hawk, and this is the time you want to see that Highland defensive line, those big guys up front really make a push here. So
if you're Pokey, don't get fancy here. Move it out, get it out around that 10-yard line, give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Contreras now comes on the field with the play. I sure wish they'd get play clocks on the high school fields. They have to watch for the count from the official, the final 5, but from the shotgun they go. They do have a packed line. And they go over to the side instead. And not much, if anything, on the play. It's like no good fact. It looks like they might have lost a yard. Ball was down at the 2-yard line. I think they lost a yard on it. I think it's going to be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, the Thunder receiver caught it in the end zone.
Yeah.
Barely got out.
A couple of the Pocatello coaches wanted a face mask. It looked clean from where I saw it.
Yeah, just back a little bit there, almost on the 1.
Yeah. And if you're Pokey, this is a place where if you get a 4th down, you almost have to go for it. You're inside 2.5 minutes. You do have some timeouts left, but not a lot of time to score. Dropping back in the pocket, being chased out, and comes out to his receiver, can't get to him. And you got Kai Cowan on the great defensive assignment there. Boy, they have not been able to throw his way much tonight. And oftentimes it's been Barella that would have been the benefactor of that. Pocatello has done a great job. So 2 passing plays trying to get out of the end zone. I really thought they would go to Echo Hawk right off the bat and just try to let him pound for 2 yards and then maybe 2 more yards, and make a manageable 3rd down. Now it's 3rd and 11.
Even a quarterback, quarterback designed to run too.
Yeah. Right now, it's not a blitz set for Highland. Oh, and they have their man across the middle on what would have been, I think, a 1st down for sure, as the trusty Hunter May, who has been, his hands have been so sticky tonight, he's held on to everything. Now you've got a little bit of an issue. You've got a 4th down. You got 2:29 on the clock. You do have all your timeouts, but how deep can you really
punt it from here? The pass is just a little bit behind too, but punting out of your end zone is never easy.
No, that was a great play call. That might have touched a Highland player. Pocatello is saying that touched a Highland player. They're saying it didn't. So 2 Highland players collided with each other.
I don't think the ball did, but it looked like it.
Yeah, it looked like it did, and it might have just been the way the player jolted back from 2 Highland players touching each other.
The crowd doesn't. I think it was the two players hitting each other, but
this is a play I'm going to go back on later tonight. I'm going to look at that because it did look a little bit like the ball changed some trajectory off of that, and it could have just been a funky bounce in general. If you're Highland here, you got to pay attention to the clock, but at the same time, Pocatello's got all 3 of their timeouts remaining. In fact, both teams do. Pitch goes to the outside. It goes to Riddle. He finally gets knocked out of bounds. Finally getting him out was number 24, Garrett Keller, who's also their kicker. We've called his name plenty tonight as well. We do have a penalty flag on the field. Got 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And where they are, it makes you almost feel like oh, wow, that's going to be a holding. I thought it might have been a defensive penalty to start with. That's going to be a holding. That's going to be a spot foul from where that was.
So you lose yards, you go out of bounds, clock stops, kind of all backwards there for Highland.
Yeah, it brings up a 1st and 18 now for the Rams. Time is stepping up. He's got some room. He's being chased to the sideline. He finally slides down on the 30-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Maybe a smart play. Keep the clock running. It's going to force Pocatello into a timeout. Another shout out again to Lookout Credit Union. Such a beautiful field here that they've been a massive part of. Lookout Field. Great environment. I'll tell you, we could not have asked for a more beautiful evening to call a game. It wasn't windy. It was plenty warm, and when you're on top of the booth like we are, it's not covered, there's always those iffy games.
You never know.
We've both been in sports long enough. We've done some of those games where you're all bundled up, and it's just like, I'm not moving from this spot.
No, it's nice. We have a great view up here on top, and you can see it all. I can see the Highland fans taking selfies with their flashes from their cell phones. It's kind of funny.
Right now, Eagle, your number 1 ranked team in 5A, followed by Highland. Highland 201 away from picking up their 4th victory on the season, but it's not going to be an easy 201. Pocatello's going to have something to say about this, and if Highland does go on to win it, if you're Pocatello, it's going to be a lot of what could have been.
Yeah, definitely had some opportunities, some chances for the Thunder, and just kind of slipped through their fingers, literally.
Yeah. Barella's going to get it in the backfield. He goes out to the right side. The blocking's good. He cuts up through the middle. He's still on his feet. He gets brought down, but not until there's a good gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2 and another timeout called by Pocatello. This will be their 2nd of 3. We'll have one more coming up. And their prayer here is for Highland to not get a first down, because if Highland gets a first down on this upcoming play, it's over.
Yeah, that's pretty
Highland can
much
kneel
it.
on
Yeah.
Because you just have the one timeout. With the amount of time they take off the clock, they can just kneel on it. So a huge play, the biggest of the ball game so far for either team. As a Pocatello stop would be massive. A Highland first down would be massive for them. Now, the other thing you got with Highland as well is if they don't get it on this third down, I have to think this is within range for Eunice to make it a two-score game.
Yeah, I definitely think it is. Eunice could kick it from here. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there for Highland, but you know you got to get this third down first if you're Thunder.
Now, if it was Ian Hershey back there, they'd have been in range once they hit the 45. I'm telling you what, I don't know if they got this first down. I don't think they did. According to where either side judge is standing, they did not get this first down. Should bring up a 4th and 1.
Another timeout looks
like. Now you got to get your third and final timeout. Now with Highland, you've got a big decision here.
Well, I tell you what, Highland special teams have been phenomenal. We've got a field goal, kicking touchbacks, the punting by Drew Hymas. I mean, if you're Highland, you know, I'd maybe look to my special teams just because they've kind of won you the game tonight.
Well, and I think if you look at Highland right now, if you go for it, you don't get it. The clock stops for a turnover on downs. Okay, clock stops. Pokey has scored on you in less than a minute 46 on one of their possessions tonight as well. If you try it with Eunice, you take a little bit more time off the clock. If he doesn't get the field goal, they've still got to start there, you know, from the 23-yard line and go the length of the field. Pokey does. If he gets it, game is essentially over in the sense of it's a two-possession game. It'd be awfully hard for Pokey to come back and win this. And they do not have Eunice out there on the field to try this attempt, so it looks like they're either going to go for it or just do a punt, which would goes in the end zone, come back to the 20-yard line. They're going to try another sneak here. No, they're going to put it in the backfield instead, and they're going to pick up a first down and some, and they're going to get into the end zone. This is with Riddle. And not only, however, we have a penalty flag on the field. And this might have been a false start or illegal man in motion. We'll see what this is. It's going to be holding. That is massive.
Wow. Now you're out of field goal range.
I thought we might have got a false start that was late enough that they didn't blow the play dead. It looked like on the right tackle, on the left tackle. End up with a holding. Now it comes back. Now it's 4th and 6. And now coming onto the field is Eunice. This is going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt. And this game can either be put out of reach or become extremely interesting in the next few seconds. Ball is down. It was a high snap, and it's blocked. It was blocked by Pokey. And Pokey has it, and they have it down into Highland territory. Ball is down on the 44-yard line. Where it'll be 1st and 10 Pocatello Thunder.
Wow, after the penalty, I didn't think they would attempt a field goal, but...
Well, I think he certainly had the leg to get it there. It was a high snap, which took some time off. It allowed the defense to get in, and right now, Pocatello, these Pocatello fans, they are putting on a show, and anybody that paid the $6 ticket price to come into this game tonight is getting about a $35 ticket price worth of ball game. Trips right, single left. It's Bowie on the left, back in the backfield. It's Contreras. He's going to run up. He's going to pick up a yard or two. But again, we're seeing now the drop back into the backfield. They have no timeouts. You've got to go to the sidelines or you've got to take a shot downfield, but you got to be able to get it off early. Got to wait for Bowie to get set. From the shotgun, Contreras again. This time he's on the move. He has 2 men short. He's got 1 deep. Goes to him. It's on the side and no good. It looked like that might have been for Keller. No, it's for May.
And just like that, it's only 3rd down.
Well, you didn't go with the huddle, because you didn't have the timeout.
Yeah. Yeah, Highland looking to win their 13th straight. Black and Blue Bowl, and Pocatello looking to break that streak right here.
And I tell you, I think if when you go back to the place where they were trying to get out of the end zone, I think you go back to the play where you went to May in the middle of the field. You were able to get that off quick. Wouldn't be surprised to see that here. Here they go. It's 3rd and 8. Stepping up in is Contreras. He gets it downfield. He has Bowie. Bowie has the reception. They're inside the 25-yard line. Clock will stop long enough for the chains to reset. It's Pokey on the move. They're trying to send this into overtime. But if they score, there could be an interesting scenario there as well. We'll get to that as it comes. It is set. Clock starts to wind. Now down near 40 seconds. Contreras in the backfield. Has a man open. Comes to the side. It's Echo Hawk. Echo Hawk taken down inside the 25-yard line on the defensive duty. It was number 11, Colton George. Colton George. Haven't called Colton's name as much tonight as we thought we would call either. Now down in 24 seconds. 2nd and 9. Contreras goes to the corner. It's a jump ball. It's knocked down, almost intercepted
by Eunice. In and out of his hands.
That would have been his 3rd interception of the night had Eunice have come down with that. Of course, one of them was a pick 6 where he was almost chased down by Julian Bowie, but outrun him at the end. 15 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 9. Ball placed on the 22-yard line. Pocatello desperately trying to get into the end zone and extend this game to overtime. We won't even talk about those scenarios that could happen unless they score, and then we'll get into those.
Yeah, they've got to get there first.
Once again, trips right. That's on the short side of the field. They're trying to get Bowie out on an island. Contreras calls it. He has time in the backfield. Now he steps up. He shuffle passes it. The shuffle passes to Echo Hawk. Echo Hawk gets out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. That's going to be a 1st and goal. 7 seconds on the clock.
What a shuffle pass. Almost down, right? I mean, that's a play you'd almost look for a replay if he was down or not. I can't believe it.
We have some Highland players up here from us who are doing some filming, some of their JV players who are, I'll tell you what, their heart rates are going about 1,000 miles an hour. So is everybody else in the stadium. I'm at an age where I can't afford for mine to go 1,000 miles an hour.
7 seconds.
From the shotgun they go. Echo Hawk's in the backfield. I doubt they're going to do a run play. Echo Hawk will have blocking duty. Now they're going to go again to the corner. It's Bowie. It gets knocked down by Highland. Bunch of Pokey fans thought that he'd caught it. He didn't. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Folks, we got enough time for one more play. I would not be surprised to see a slot route to May.
To May, yeah.
That would not surprise me to see a slot route to May. Folks, the game of the year so far comes down to this. 2 seconds on the clock, 24-17. Ball placed on the 10-yard line. 2nd and goal for Pocatello. 2 seconds on the clock, barring a penalty. This will be the final play. May does line up as a slot receiver, and he runs to the slot. They come to the outside instead. He gets it down. We're going to get a pass interference, and this game's going to move forward at this point. The pass interference call is going to be against Highlands. It's going to be Highlands number 1, Brennan Carlson, as the big tight end, number 11, Ty Wilkinson. It was intended for him. This will be half the distance to the goal.
So just one more play, right?
Yeah, well, it's a dead clock play. And the ball placed on the 5-yard line as it was a half of the distance to the goal. Now you can't completely rule out a delayed handoff, maybe to an Echo Hawk, to run this in as well. So you got the pass option, keeper by Contreras.
Yeah.
course, these kind of decisions aren't made in the game. These kind of decisions are made in practice of what you're going to do in this scenario. These are scenarios that coaches go over. A lot of excited fans over on the east side. A lot of excited fans on the west side. From the shotgun, it's Contreras. He goes right across the middle, has his receiver, and it's May, but they're going to call it back.
Oh, a timeout.
Timeout called by Highland just prior to the snap. As last year's quarterback, the junior receiver, now May. We called for it. A slot to May.
Yeah, the middle of the field for the passing game, it's quick, it's fast. It's worked really well for the Thunder, but
it has. Well, we saw in the previous play, May line up in the slot, lined up, that was right side slot. This time it was left side slot. They hit him going in it this time, but it was called back because of the timeout. Boy, talk about awfully close. But you look over on that other side, head coach Nick Sorrell, he saw something he didn't like on a matchup, so he gets the timeout called. You're watching it, folks, right here on IdahoSports.com from Lookout Field. That's Lookout Credit Union Field, essentially. Lookout Credit Union has stepped up, sponsored this field. Second year that Pocatello is playing on this field. Don't forget, Pokey, Highland, and Century, their home field used to be Holt Arena, where Idaho State plays. Of course, that's been a remodeled field, a remodeled stadium as well. Okay, we're out. Same thing, it's the same lineup. We'll see where they go. Echo Hawk is in the backfield. I'm imagining for blocking duties. He is. Steps up to the middle. Contreras to the side. Goes to the end zone. And it's another pass interference. As once again, it's Brendan Carlson. And that was obvious as he pushed down the receiver, Alex Wynn. And then went to get it. It's going to be the second pass interference call. We're going to have our third time that this is extended on a 0 time.
Kind of a smart pass interference there. I mean, there's nothing. They're just going to get another shot at it.
Oh, yeah.
Again. So
that's right. Not all pass interferences are bad pass interferences. Sometimes it's better than the touchdown, especially since it's just half the distance to the goal. But now what you got is you got the ball on the 2.5-yard line, and you've got somebody in your backfield like Echo Hawk. That could make a difference. It's Highland. It's Pocatello. Highland 24, Pocatello 17, trying to tie it up. No time on the clock due to penalties. Contreras from the shotgun. Echo Hawk in the backfield with him. There is room to the left if they go to it. He pulls to the left. It's Contreras. He looks to get there. He has his receiver in the end zone. It's no good. And this game comes to an end as there is no penalty on the play.
And he had it in his hands.
Had it in his hands. And boy, what a fantastic game. You know, they refer to the Idaho Falls Skyline game as the Emotion Bowl. I can't imagine much more emotion going on in their game that has been here tonight.
No, I mean, it had ups and downs. It was, it was like a daytime soap opera, really. You got all the pieces.
That was Stuckey that was open in the end zone. He had that opportunity right in his hands. His teammates consoling him, did everything he can do. And again, Highland sneaks away with this win tonight, 24-17. And for Pokey, it is a lot of what could have been without the turnovers.
Yeah, without the turnovers, Pocatello probably has a good shot at, being ahead at this point in the game. But what a gutsy performance by the Thunder to come back and play some defense and ultimately have a chance here at the end, 2 or 3 of them, right?
That's right. Well, we're going to take a break here. We're going to get some final thoughts. We're going to leave you here from Lookout Field. We'll be back with our IdahoSports.com player of the game presented by the Idaho Transportation Department.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Well, Sean Kane and I are trying to catch our breath here from a fantastic game from Lookout Field as Highland gets another one in this black and blue rivalry, and it took every second of the game to get that victory as it came down to the final play to determine who was going to win this game or not. And at the end of the day, wow, this is the kind of football we hope for, Sean.
Yeah, you know, I just was hoping for it to be a good game, and man, it was everything and that. You had 2 or 3 last second chances to win. Usually you only get one.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
We got a couple of those. You had turnovers, you had big time plays and touchdowns and drives. You had it all tonight, and lived up to the big rivalry game that it is by all aspects.
Well, the only thing we've got left is to announce our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department, and that is Zarek Eunice.
Yeah, Zarek Eunice, what a game from him. 2 big-time interceptions, 1 ran back all the way for a touchdown, and if not that, he also kicked a field goal, and he spent a good deal of time covering Julian Bowie. So what a game by Eunice tonight, and that's why he's going to be our player of the game.
That's right. He had the first 10 points of the ball game by himself.
Yeah.
Obviously, help from his teammates, but as far as his name being on it, for sure. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union and Mountain View Events Center. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, your local Toyota dealer, the Idaho Transportation Department. Special thanks to Athletic Director Robert Parker and everyone here at Pocatello High School for their hospitality and in getting this game broadcast to you, the viewer. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Zarek Eunice, brought to you by the Idaho Transportation Department. Thanks again for joining us as the Highland Rams defeat the Pocatello Thunder by a score of 24-17. For my broadcast partner, Sean Kane, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Lance Taylor saying good night.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.